Imagine a world where the smallest player takes down the biggest titans. This is the true story of a team that defied every single mathematical probability. In the year 2015, one football club shocked the entire globe. Leicester City was a modest team from a quiet city in England. They were facing off against massive clubs with billions of dollars in funding. For decades, the English Premier League was dominated by a few elite giants. Teams like Manchester United and Chelsea held all the power and the glory. Most experts predicted that Leicester City would be relegated to a lower league. The betting odds for them to win the championship were 5,000 to 1. To put that in perspective, you were more likely to find a living dinosaur. The team was composed of players who had been rejected by bigger clubs. Their manager, Claudio Ranieri, was often called the Tinkerman by his critics. No one expected this group of misfits to challenge the status quo. The season began with a series of surprising and energetic victories. Fans started to notice a unique spirit within the blue and white jerseys. Jamie Vardy was a striker who worked in a factory just a few years prior. Riyad Mahrez was a thin winger who many thought was too small for the league. Together, they formed an unstoppable force that confused the legendary defenders. Every week, the world waited for the Leicester bubble to finally burst. The Giants assumed the small team would eventually run out of steam. Instead of slowing down, the underdogs grew faster and more confident. They played with a sense of joy that the expensive superstars had forgotten. By Christmas, the impossible dream started to look like a real possibility. The city of Leicester was buzzing with an energy never felt before. Rival fans began to cheer for the underdog because they loved the story. It was a classic battle of David versus multiple powerful Goliaths. One pivotal match against Manchester City proved they belonged at the top. They defeated the billionaires on their own home turf with pure skill. Even when they faced injuries, the substitute players stepped up bravely. The defensive line was like a brick wall that refused to be broken. Their goalkeeper made saves that seemed to defy the laws of physics. As the final weeks of the season approached, the pressure became immense. Every game felt like a championship final with the whole world watching. The media circus followed the players everywhere they went. Through it all, the manager kept the team calm and focused on the goal. He famously promised the players pizza if they kept a clean sheet. On a historic night in May, the miracle was finally made official. Their closest rivals failed to win, handing the title to the underdogs. Grown men cried in the streets of Leicester as history was written. It was the greatest sporting upset in the history of modern athletics. The trophy was lifted in front of a stadium filled with roaring fans. This victory proved that money cannot always buy passion and teamwork. It reminded every person that the impossible is actually quite possible. The players became legends whose names will be remembered for centuries. Small clubs around the world now look to Leicester as a beacon of hope. You do not need $1 billion to achieve greatness in your field. You only need a group of people who believe in a common vision. Never let the odds discourage you from chasing your wildest dreams. The story of the underdog is a story that belongs to all of us. Always remember that even the smallest spark can start a massive fire.